Have you heard the FDA has been using AI?
They sure have. I did. It's in the news a lot these days, and they've really been pushing in a bunch of different areas. They assigned a chief AI officer, and there's also rumors that they're working with OpenAI to develop CEDAR FDA on the drug side. So they've really jumped in. I think the other bit of news that I thought was interesting is at the end of June, it's going to be distributed to all of the different departments to be able to leverage a lot of the tools that are coming out today in the AI space.
Wow, what sorts of things do you expect to come out of this?
Well, I mean, I think right now, I assume FDA and most of the world is using AI for different things. And things like scientific research with a lot of the information that's out there is very relevant. Thinking about doing predicate searches and identifying how those devices need to be cleared, I think is already happening today. However, I think the FDA, I'm assuming, has developed their own large language model that will be built upon all of the submissions. It's an assumption right now, but it's a smart thing for them to do because I think it would allow them to do enhanced predicate searches, thinking about different product codes and how they get determined from a predicate perspective is something that AI could certainly do if you had all of that information available. Things like testing protocols for specific devices. Again, they have all of the information from everybody's submissions. Standards traceability also seems like a relevant thing that is a bit painful today to figure out. And AI would be able to sort of show that you have the map and traceability from requirements to validation protocols and the like. And then even things like labeling and instructions for use, tying those back to indications for use, making sure the right things that are there. There's certain requirements on labeling. It's something that's very automated that somebody can do, but AI could do it probably better.
Yeah, it sounds really useful. What types of devices would this be primarily used for?
I don't know, again, but there's a little bit of information out there. I think that the emphasis for reviews for things like the most commonly submitted 510Ks, I think the most common devices, medical devices out there are things like blood pressure monitors, surgical gloves, tampons. There's all these different things that get a lot of submissions. They're class 2 devices, and they take still a level of rigor to be able to step through. And a large language model would look at the ability for that submission to pass probably a lot faster and quicker because there's no real new information there. And then where the need for humans still would be is in new technologies that are coming out and interpreting those standards or making up new standards. Even in the last 3 years, FDA has put a lot of emphasis on providing guidelines for AI as software as a medical device or integrated into devices. I think the first clear device was Caption, and they were, helping guide people in the use of ultrasound. But this is a little bit different, and this is the FDA then using it for their own review processes.
So are we out of jobs?
I don't think we're out of jobs quite yet. I think really what it may enable engineers and regulatory people to do is focus on the things that they should be focusing on, which is new novel devices and also getting devices out and accessible in the marketplace faster and easier, or hopefully more predictably as well. I think that there's obviously with any new technology a lot of disruptive thoughts that come along with it. And it would be great if the FDA and others would provide visibility on how those large language models are being used to help regulatory people as well as engineers understand how to navigate an automated review process. But in any instance, I think we get to work on the more interesting things instead of doing a standard submission over and over again. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Sounds like an exciting time.